In today's video, we are going to talk about how, as a six-figure seller, high six-figure sellers going towards seven figures, I test listings. I decide how many units to buy, I make purchasing decision, what data that I look at, and how I do this process, what my thought process is when I do this. Because yesterday, we received a message on the Discord server from that's his name on Discord, and he asked me, do you take into account how many offers are on the listings before you buy a product? And if so, what's your range like? For example, don't buy if it's above 30 new offers, and so on and so forth when it comes to retail online arbitrage. So this is what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to tell you exactly how to think about it, how I personally think about it, what my thought process is, and how I make those purchasing decisions. Before we do, in the description, there's a link for one-on-one coaching if you want help scaling your Amazon business. If you need some mentorship from someone that actually did it in the past, you can book a call. If you look at the one-on-one coaching, it's the second link. You can book a call for as early as tomorrow if you want to. It's Wednesday, so Thursday. Yeah, I do have some availability on Thursday, so you can book a call as early as tomorrow. Second link that you're going to find that is important is the Discord server. If you want to grow, you need to network. Best way to do it, join the Discord server, start asking questions, start talking, start answering people questions. Even if they ask me questions to me personally, you can give your opinion, and oftentimes I come and I add to the discussion anyway. So yeah, just come and talk and you'll meet people, you'll start building your network, and this is one of the things that is going to help you grow a lot. So let's start with this video. So as I was saying, when it comes to the new offer count, as I answered in the Discord server, there's no hard and fast rule for me. And I gave an example. There's one of the listings I'm deep into right now is a listing on which there's always around 30 new offers. It's a listing that sells quite fast, but there's always around 30 offers, and it goes up sometimes to 50, 60, 70 offers, right? And not 70, I'm exaggerating, but yeah, it goes to 50 new offers sometimes. And the thing is that for the last 30 days, I've had 30% of the buy box on that listing. How do I do this? First, the repricer, of course, but it's not the only thing. There's other people that have that have been on listing for as long as me, but it's just that I purchase a lot of stock, all right? And so what it should tell you is that the new offer count is not, like, you should really understand this in this way. The way, of course, when you start, when you start and when you look at the number of competitive offers to try to estimate how much of the buy box you can win, but it's never going to, it's the regular advice, but it's never going to give you a good image of how many units you can move a month on a specific listings. And yes, this is something when you start, of course, if you buy some vitamins, there's 5 competitive offers, it sells 100 times a day, 100 times a month, I'm sorry. If you jump on the listing, you're gonna be the 6th offer, and 100 divided by 6 is something like 15, it's close to 15, whatever. Do not want to make a calculation, but you get what I mean. So you know that you can sell 15 a month, and then you can buy stock for 1 month, 2 months. If you want to buy stock for 1 month to test the product, buy 15 units, see how fast it moves. But it's a decent, I'm not going to say it's a good strategy for beginners. It's a decent strategy, but this is not how Amazon works, right? The buy box is not shared equally. And so because of that, the new offer count should not be something that you take into account like this. The only way that I actually look at the new offer count is, first of all, if I'm jumping into a new listing, I'm looking at the trend. Is the new offer count going up? Is it going down? Where do I think it's going to go after that specific sale? And when you know of sales cycle, and you know that specific sales on specific websites, for example, if there's a sale on Ulta, you know that the number of new offers is going to go up like crazy. And so when the new offer count goes up like this, I'm trying to look at a range at which I'm going to be able to sell the product, and I'm looking at a worst case scenario. A worst case scenario is when the number of new offers count goes up like crazy, and I look at what the price is, how much does the price goes down when the new offer count goes to that number. And I'm trying to estimate, like I'm looking at the worst case scenario, and I'm trying to see how long it takes for people to actually sell it and for the price to go back to normal, to try to get an idea of what I can expect to sell the product, because you're never going to sell the product at the price at which you find, like it's pretty rare, right? But yeah, the reason why I'm not looking at this is because like I do not really test products, like, and this is why I've been saying, this is what I've been saying in I think it was yesterday's video or the video that I made 2 days ago when I was with Amazon FBA gurus online and stuff like this, because the way you're gonna run your business as a beginner is not the same way I'm running my business right now, right? It would not make sense for you to run your business just in the same way as I'm running mine, because your pockets are not as deep as me. You do not have the experience that I have. So, you know, I'm not really testing products. When I find a listing, most of the time I'm not testing them because I try to stay in my sphere of competence. I know some listings, I know some brands, and this is why I said, you know, I'm mainly sourcing only from one website. Like 85% of my sourcing comes from one website. 85% of my sourcing comes from one specific product category. It's a product category that I talked about in previous videos. But the listings, that the product that I'm looking at are always the same product from the same brand, different colorways, different sizes, different cuts, different. And if I tell you exactly what it is, you understand what it is. But if you've seen my storefront, you know what it is. And I know that a few of you guys actually have seen my storefront. So I do not necessarily need to test, even if I find, even because there's a lot of listings for those products. I do not necessarily need to test listings, because I know this niche, I know this specific niche, and so I do not necessarily need to test. I can just go deep and buy like 700 units at a time if it's a new listings. But if I really want to test a new listings, usually I will go deep into listings that I know. If I want to test a new listings, I'll buy probably 100 units. Or if it's a product that is expensive, if I go with other products, I'll buy like 50 units. And it's a bad example because I did this with another product and I bought like 70 units, but it was like I probably spent like 5,000. Let me think. Yeah, I probably spent like $5,000 in that one listing to test it, and it was super good, so I made a lot of money. And I wish I actually bought more. But yeah, I do not really test products anymore, especially when it's those products that I really know, because yeah, it's just a waste of time for me. And like I know the products, I know the category, I know the brand, I know that I can just go deep, and I just go deep. I do not look at the offer count with a maximum number of offers that I need to have in the listing. I do not look at the offer count to estimate how many units I can move a month. I do not do this anymore. I just go deep because I know that most of the time, even if I spend $10,000 in that ASIN, I will not have enough stock for 2 months. This is not going to happen. I'll have 1 month, 1 month and a half at most, right? And the reason why is because if you go deeper on inventory, you'll get the buy box way more. You'll win the buy box way more. And so this is why I do not even test anymore, because like these types of tests, if you jump on the listings with 10 units at the level at which I'm running this business right now, and in the way, this is really specific because you do not have to run your business in the same way as I'm doing myself. This is the strategy that I decided to use because it's way less maintenance and, you know, it's faster to scale, less return on investment, faster to scale. So less return on investments on a sale by sale basis, but if you actually flip your inventory fast, your profit margins actually are bigger. Not your profit margin, but the amount of money that you make and your growth rate is going to be bigger. And so, as I said, this is not the only way to run your business. This is the way I decided to run my business. And yeah, but I do not look at new accounts like this. And you should really stop looking at data in vacuum. You should look at everything together. You should have an holistic approach. Because the new of account is not going to tell you the whole story. It's going to help you tell you the story about this specific ASIN, how much you can sell, at what price you can sell, but it's not the only KPI that you should look for. You should look for the sales rank, you should look at what other people are actually selling, you should look at the offers, you should look at the number of people going out of stock. This is a whole story, and I have a whole lot of videos on sourcing. Look at my advanced sourcing playlist, look at my sourcing playlist, and you'll understand what I mean. But yeah, I do not really test products this way. I do not look at data like this with hard ceiling, except with the only data that I would look at in this way is the sales rank, right? Because the sales rank I'm trying to have to be on listings that sell super fast, and this is my whole strategy. Listings that sell super fast, the new offer count is irrelevant, except if it goes to the 300 offers, of course, like, but there's no hard ceiling. If it sells fast enough, and I can move a couple hundred units a month, I'm fine with that, you know. Yeah, so the number, like, this is my whole strategy, to be honest. And looking at the new offer count is not going to help you make decision by itself. It's going to help you. You can look at trends. You can determine price, like if the new offer count goes up. Like, yes, of course, it can help you a little bit, but like, it's not something that you should really get out of that mentality if you actually want to run your business in the same way as I do. No, if you want to start selling products that sells a little bit slower, and you're fine with having a lot of ASINs that sells a little bit slower but higher return on investment, of course it's going to be way more important. The new offer count, I'm sorry, is going to be way more important, and you should look at it in a different way in those cases. In my case, in the way I run my business, it's irrelevant, and you should really get out of that mentality of, okay, there's 15 new offers, it's selling 100 times a month, I divide this by 15, I have the number of offers I can sell a month. It's not going to be the case. If you have a lot of stock, if you take 2 to 3 months of inventory, and this is an advice that I saw Katie Hustle have, because if you do not know, Katie Hustle is doing wholesale. You know what's talking about? Buy 3 months of inventory, and you'll see how your buy box share is gonna increase, and how fast you're gonna sell those items. It's actually true. It's actually true. If you have a lot of stock, as I said, there's that listing on which that sells fast, but that has a lot of big sellers, and just by buying a lot of stock, which I thought was going to be like 3 months, I'm going to sell out in 1.5 months, like probably 2 months, just because I'm able to get 30% of the buy box, which is huge. It's really, really, really huge. 30% of the buy box on a listing sub 10,000 in sales rank, under 10,000 in sales ranks, is huge. And so, yeah, you are like there's no hard and fast rule when it comes to the new offer count because of this, because your stock count is going to affect the number of whatever you have in the buy box, like the buy box percentage, the buy box win percentage is going to affect it directly, and so because of that, the new offer count is relevant. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Oh, I want to add, by the way, that on that listing, I'm not even the lower price. All right, I'm not even the lower price, and I did so to explain a little bit. It's like, I'm not going to tell you the exact price because you can figure out which listing it is, and I do not want to talk about it, but and I do not want you guys to figure out, but like, it's just like this listing is selling at $50, okay, and I said like the buy box most of the time is at $50, and I set my minimum at, no, let's just call it $48, okay? The buy box is at $48, and I set my minimum at 50, okay? And I'm still winning the buy box 30% of the time. So, you know, it's something that you should really take into account. And yeah, the new offer count is irrelevant. The way you are using the new offer count to actually make decision is not the right way to use it, all right? So if you need to learn something for this video, that's the message of this video. Hope it was helpful. Like this video, subscribe to all that stuff as usual. And watch these videos on the screen if you want to keep learning about selling on Amazon. I'll see you tomorrow for a new video, because there is a new video every single day. Thank you for watching.